I think we've got a select band from the Turkish Baths with us tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Do they look a bit like that crowd?
Nope.
Oh.
Actually, my eyes have gotten kind of bad over the years. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
No, there's ladies and gentlemen up there. They're dressed, how would I know? I wouldn't recognize them.
Yeah. Those must have been hard days, performing in front of people without any clothes on.
No, I enjoyed it tremendously. It was the best time I ever had in my life. Except for when I was a go-go girl, which was also a lot of fun.
But then you haven't any clothes on.
I had a few.
Yeah?
I had a few, but I like that mindless thing. You know, I like turning on music and just dancing and not having to think about anything. It's great.
Men being driven wild with desire as they watch you.
Not those men.
I see. Of course not. The Turkish Baths again. Yeah. Quite. You've just had a baby.
I did.
That was good, isn't it?
I think it was. It was kind of frightening. I had a cesarean. I didn't have natural childbirth. I tried and tried and tried to get. She never came down. She never engaged. So it was like you know what that means? Do you know what that means? So I had to have a cesarean. It was actually very exciting. My husband took videos, and I had an anesthesiologist who did magic tricks. And they put a little screen in front of you, so the magician was on the other side with the card tricks, and I was so upset. And I was very glad that he was there, because if he hadn't been there, I would have completely gone off my head.
The magician.
Yeah, I had he was very proud of his work. He was an anesthesiologist, and on the side he did magic tricks, and he took out his pack of cards and said, "Pick a card," and I'm lying there like that. I was really glad he was there. He made me laugh and forget what was going on.
Did he remember to give you the stuff to knock you out?
They did. That stuff is so frightening. That's why I was so panic-stricken, because my body felt like rubber. Like, I couldn't move at all. And it was terrible. It was terrible. Don't make me go through the pain.
You won't go through it.
But I got such a reward at the end. I got my girl. I got Sophie, and she's fabulous. Just fabulous.
She looked like you?
She looks a lot like me. She does. But she looks a lot like my husband, too. So it's really kind of a nice mix, I think.
After Sophie Tucker, you thought?
No, not after Sophie Tucker. No,
I'm so
vague. I did a soap routine, and I tell you, poor Sophie Tucker must have been turning over in her grave, because I got to a point where I was telling such terrible jokes and using her name, and I started feeling really guilty about it. And I had to stop saying Sophie Tucker, because her memory, what was left of it after I got done with it, her memory was in tatters, and I really felt badly. I felt quite guilty.
What sort of stories?
Oh, I'll never forget it. My boyfriend Ernie got out of bed one night. He said to me, he went into the bathroom. He called me from the bathroom. He said to me, "Soph, I can't pee." I said to him, "Ernie, how old are you?" He said to me, "Soph, I'm 94 years old." I said to him, "Ernie, you peed enough." I can't believe I remembered that.
But you called each other Sophie, but not after Sophie Tucker.
Well, my husband is German, and he has a kind of a German, he's a Vaughan, and so he has one of those sort of aristocratic, minor aristocratic names, and we wanted a kind of, sort of uptight, impoverished princess effect. It's what we wanted to do. Yes.
Sophie.
I think so. And then he said to me, "Well, probably everyone's going to think you named her after Sophie Tucker," and I said, "Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
Any more Sophies in the works? Any more?
No, maybe we'll have a little Buster next time.
Buster?
Yeah, or a little Clive, a little Hugo.
Because the last time you were here, you weren't even married.
No. I'd had my share of affairs, however.
Had you?
Yes, I had.
That's the racy, raunchy
yes,
woman.
Yes, I was, but all that's behind me now.
Because you've calmed down. You're very... A little bit, or completely. Has marriage quelled your instincts?
Which ones?
Well, your baser one.
I would have to say yes, it has. Yes, it has. I don't even bother to look at another man. I just sort of have my blinders on. I'm very happy. I'm very contented. I have no reason to look outside my own home.
That's good. What was the wedding like?
Well, we were married in Las Vegas. We eloped to Las Vegas, and we were married by an Elvis impersonator. Accidentally. We didn't know he was an Elvis impersonator until the ceremony was over. It was a very nice ceremony. He was wearing a double-knit polyester suit, which I thought was not really my taste, but he looked all right. He had kind of a pompadour. And we didn't know he was an Elvis impersonator. At the end of the ceremony, he gave me his single. his record and told me that he was a very well-known middle-of-the-road entertainer, and that his specialty was that he was an Elvis impersonator. And I thought, well, of course. It could only happen to me. And I'll never actually forget him. I sort of, it was a lovely ceremony, and he said all kinds of wonderful things about the marriage, you know, how the ring stood for the circle, and it was a gold, and it would never tarnish, like your love would never tarnish. And I was just thrilled. I was very moved. We both cried.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then he went straight in, well, this will be whatever. You're happily married, though.
Yes, I am.
Everything is great.
I
And
have
the
no
old
reason to
career,
complain.
the old career has boomed, hasn't it?
I've been very lucky. I've really been lucky. If I could find some wood on this set,
Hang on.
I'll knock on plastic. I've been really, really lucky. I don't know. My husband asked me when we got married. I was sort of in the doldrums, and he asked me what I wanted to do with myself, and I said, well, I'd like to be very funny, and I just like to make people laugh. I'd like to be, I don't know. I want to do something in comedy, and he suggested that I do this and I do that, and I sort of followed his advice, and it all came true.
Yeah, but you're up there now, you see, with the Meryl Streeps and the Madonnas.
Do you really think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Imagine. It only took me 20 years to get there. Imagine that.
Do you wish you were Meryl Streep? Or?
I can't wish I were Meryl Streep, no, because I'm having much more fun than I think Meryl Streep has. Really? She has to...
Didn't she have fun?
Well, as you know, she has to play the sort of tight-lipped ladies. And it doesn't look like it's a lot of laughs to me. Does it look like it's like a lot of laughs to you? I mean, she's always very... And she has to learn a new accent every time she opens her mouth, you know. I mean, my God. And she has to study for 6 months before she gets to set her foot on the stage, so... I mean, can you imagine? She probably wakes up with the earphone in her head, you know, still in her ear. I don't know how she does it.
Madonna, though, I mean,
She doesn't study at all. She just goes to the hairdresser.
How does she speak of you, old man?
Actually, I think she probably likes me. I've never met her really, but I think she likes a good laugh. I actually have heard that she's a very funny performer herself. And when she was at Yale, she was actually the queen of the drama school, because she could do anything that was classical. She was apparently very funny in classical comedy, and that's not easy to be.
What about you in something romantic? What about you as Juliet?
Well, now come on. Part of the reason one has any success is because one knows what one can and what one cannot do. And I don't really think that people would really pay money to see me do that in anything but a send-up.
Do you think Hollywood makes monsters out of people?
I think it makes, No, I think you either have the capability to become a monster or you don't. Either you're going to survive what they throw at you, or you are not going to survive. I think it really has to do with each individual.
Did you survived, obviously. Did you think you were going to go under at any stage?
Oh, absolutely. No question. I was very, very close to going under. Yeah. And I think really if I hadn't met my husband and hadn't made this sudden switch in my life, I probably would have. Although, you know, I'm a hard worker, and I'm pretty much, I'm not very neurotic. I try not to be neurotic, because it's a waste of time. After I did Jinx, I had a very bad time of it. This was a picture that was thrust on me by United Artists like a few years ago. And I pretty much suffered after that picture was done filming, because they were talking about me in the press as though I really were a monster. And the truth was that I was trying to do the best I could with a piece of material that wasn't very good. And I felt that I was being unjustly maligned. And I couldn't defend myself. So it frustrated me terribly and really put me under. Yeah.
Let's have a brief snatch of your...
so to speak.
Yeah.
Gee, I didn't know it was going to be dirty like that, Ted.
That's one of those words that's dirty in America, but not dirty here. Or a fragrant nosegay, then. From one of your funniest movies. This is a brief extract from Ruthless People.
faces. Nice, easily identifiable faces. Spell it out!